All right, good evening. It's Tarot Ass Backward. It's January 17th, 2023. I want to preface this reading with just a little sidebar. I got a hit on Eric Clapton last night, and I don't know why. So I'm just throwing that out there. Prayers for Eric Clapton. Okay, this is a reading where I'm trying to determine the extent to which Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Jackson were involved. I don't mean romantically, those two. I mean, given that we know about the flight list, it seems very little has been revealed. Given that we know so much about the flight log, it seems very little has been revealed about who's on this list. And I'm wondering if, with the Kipper, the Ciro Marchetti fin de siècle, to what degree and or what were the parameters of the arrangement between Epstein and Jackson? In other words, through all his eccentricity, it never was proven that Michael Jackson was a child trafficker or a child molester. Although, for eccentricity's sake, again, it's a little bit bizarre that a man would be courting children to be in a position to be vulnerable around him for entertainment purposes only. So, I want to know, since it seems to me, from what I'm feeling, that this is going to be suppressed for a while. I'm hearing maybe till after the election, as far as the whole entire list is concerned. If MJ had, or to what degree MJ had a relationship with Epstein, and to what end. Sleight of hand, a slip of the wrist, just do a dance and they'll come to you for every tryst. You may have pioneered so much. You may have gained new ground. You may have broken new ground. But did you break anybody's soul? Your father broke yours. So to what degree has it taken its toll? Being affiliated with the likes of Jeffrey Epstein. Were you looking for them, for those children sight unseen? God of my angels, please give me a description on the relationship between Jeffrey Epstein and Michael Jackson. And by the way, I am stipulating that the main male be Michael, the wealthy male be Jeffrey, if they come in. The child card will obviously be you-know-what. And main female, actually I'm going to say creative female. Privileged lady will be Guylaine if she comes in. All right, so let's take a look at this. Okay, someone was in great despair during the term of Epstein and Jackson's relationship. I don't know if this is positing that that despair is going to affect or radiate all the other cards, but it seems to me we'd have to let the tone of the reading be shaped by that. Great fortune. In this case, it might not be about money. When Michael Jackson died, he was in debt, right? In this case, I am getting it could be about money and the expenditures on this sort of thing, and the lengths to which his attorneys might have gone to at least do damage control, even if he wasn't guilty of the most heinous things. A lot of worry and despair about losing everything was pervasive for Michael, and he numbed out a lot, is what I'm getting. We did get the child card, you guys. Okay, so here, and again, for entertainment purposes only, I'm thinking his own childhood, if you remember the song Childhood by Michael, was the root of the despair, but a small portion of his great fortune was spent on trying to live vicariously through other children. And that doesn't mean I want to say what you think it means. Although, this worries me, the thief card. Michael hasn't come in yet, so let's just pretend, for instance, it's independent of him. A lot of childhoods were stolen as a result of the despair inflicted upon either the children Michael met, whether they were through Epstein or not, or as a result of his own childhood. And even amassing a great fortune didn't alleviate that despair. Yeah, let's keep going. Okay, false person. But I did set the intention that the privileged lady would be Ghislaine. In this particular instance, with the thief card knighting to it, I'm getting almost double deception, as if he were blackmailed. The people who were maybe, if they were part of Epstein's group and not Epstein, or if this were some other ring of crime to get children just around Michael, someone deceived him and manipulated him in all his despair to find ways to make him happy by luring at the same time by blackmailing the fact that they had to go and get children for him. So far, independent of Epstein, I'm getting cultivating relationships with children was important, but by the same token, blackmailing and other forms of extortion with the Great Fortune card seem to be weighing on this as well. Yeah. Okay, so Coffin. We know he was bankrupt when he died. Great fortune knighting to Coffin. And then he recouped a lot of it. Remember when his album sales started to be driven up? But he did get a lot of it back subsequent to his death. However, here, and again, I don't pretend to really know with absolute certainty anything, but what my feeling is, when he died internally, that was the end. Meaning, with the stuff that happened in his childhood, that was totally the end for him. But also, great fortune cannot shield him from the legacy that is surrounding him in certain circles, even with that, historic musical legacy. Because with great fortune comes the coffin. And eventually his undoing, were by people who are taking advantage of the idiosyncratic, or let's be a little bit more explicit about it, creepy, effed up ways in which he'd conduct himself, even if they were just quote-unquote sleepovers, or even if they were just hanging out. Let's keep going. Yeah, okay. Imprisonment, toil and labor. Okay, so a lot of work went into, and a lot of soullessness and soulless repetition to make someone very, very dead inside feel alive. And that was his prison with the knighting here. Also, do you remember when, I don't know to what degree it was like Trump, but I think Wacko Jacko had, as they called him, had an issue with funding, and remember he was rumored to be thinking of signing with the Sheikh of Bahrain for an album in the early 2000s, late 90s. I feel as if this has to do more with the creativity being stifled, feeling as if he can't express himself. I kind of get Eight of Swords energy from this. If he had only taken the steps to get himself better, which were, very easy, just as with the Eight of Swords card, there could have been some way around this. But a great expenditure, being imprisoned by one's own suppressed or repressed emotions, led to a great fortune being spent to relive or live a childhood that was stolen. And as a result, a lot of work went into cultivating relationships that ultimately, well, let's keep going, that ultimately, led to the loss, or led to the loss of innocence, because he had everyone around him telling him how wonderful he was and how great he was, and he needs to give in to what it is he's feeling and try to actualize it by stealing other children's lives, is what I'm getting here. Even if he knew deep down inside it was the wrong thing to do. Children's lives, theft through the thief card knighting to the people that were blackmailing him and or knew the truth. The loss of innocence as a result of trying to recapture, is what I'm getting. Trying to recapture something lost that he was trying to express. And as we go through the reading, it seems to me as if Well, let's see what the next card is. Okay, main male. This is all weighing on him, and we're going out of the reading. So I'm gonna say, because I can't put any more cards down, well, I can here. Just look at the bottom. Yeah, marriage. So in other words, let's just look. Repressed, inhibited creativity, emotion, in spite of a great fortune. A childhood was lost, that was stolen and could never be recaptured. And a lot of soul-sucking work of others, of other children, was what was suggested to him. It's sort of like a timeline of his life in a way. Soul-sucking children, so their innocence would be lost as a result of people capitalizing and stealing from the despair that led to Michael's death, that he always felt, you know, whether it was the propofol overdose and whatever. He was just trying to find ways to heal himself. Instead of healing the world, he should have tried to heal himself. All right, I don't see Epstein in that, so I'm going to close this out. Whatever connection they have, I think, was as a result of maybe the circles within which Michael could find these children. But again, I just have this sense either after the election or we may never know. It's been kept hush-hush, and I think a lot of other people are too. So I'm certainly not indicting the Jackson family or for paying, you know, this amount of money, X amount of money to keep it hush-hush. But please do like and subscribe. Take care. Bye.